Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading A Cat Six-Seater by Cousin Lil on Tumblr. So let's get into it. Today I saw paired up with Kaminari for training. You and Kaminari are friends, so you two were happy to be paired together. Your boyfriend, on the other hand, though, wasn't. He didn't like that you had been paired up with Dunceface. He wanted you to be paired up with him. He was too busy raging to hear what he was going to be paired up with. He felt a tap on his shoulder, only to turn around and see Midoriya looking at him with a nervous expression.
What do you want, nerd?
We should get started on training.
What the hell are you talking about?
Didn't you hear Kachan? Mr. Aizawa paired us up together. And Katsuki saw red. This had to be a joke. Alas, eventually training began, and we were off to a good start. You had managed to knock Dinky down as soon as you were given the cue to start. But he was quick to get back up and continue to battle. You were firing your quirk at him, caging him in. You were getting ready to aim at him, to knock him down once more, and you could see panic on Kaminari's face. He quickly shot a bolt of electricity, hitting you square in the chest, and he felt your body tingle a lot. You tried to shake it off, but you couldn't move. It was as if you were frozen in place. You could feel your body start to fall backwards, but you didn't feel it hit the ground, as your vision had turned back before you could even hit the ground. Katsuki and Midoriya had been fighting an intense battle against each other. Sweat dripped off the both of them as they dodged and fired their quirks, and Katsuki was so busy trying to hit Izuku and swearing at him that he had not been paying attention to your fight with Dinky. Usually, he would glance over at you. When the two of you were not paired up, he had been snapped out of his rampage at the sound of someone screeching your name out in horror. And that was Dinky's voice. His head snapped towards you only to see your unconscious body, and Dinky and Mr. Aizawa running towards you.
Quick! Bakugou! Check her pulse!
You were limp, not moving an inch, as he got down on his knees and pulled your body up to him, holding you close. He then placed 2 fingers on the side of your neck and pressed down slightly. Nothing. He lifted your body higher towards him as he leaned down to press an ear to your chest. Still nothing. He was starting to panic now. He couldn't lose you. No way. You couldn't be dead. He wouldn't be able to live without you by his side.
She doesn't have one. Quick, call an ambulance.
I already did. They should be here any second. And just as Kaminari finished his sentence, the paramedics were rushing towards you, quickly taking you from Katsuki's arms. Even as he struggles and yells at them to give you back.
Calm down, Katsuki.
Kirishima yelled, trying to hold his friend back, but Katsuki easily broke free from his hold and demanded Aizawa to accompany you to the hospital as well. He had no time to argue, so he agreed. In the ambulance, Katsuki listened to Aizawa explain what had happened to you, all while his eyes were glued to you, as the paramedics were doing chest compressions on you and pumping air into your lungs. He saw your eyes roll to the back of your head when they opened your eyelids to check your pupils. He looked petrified. Even Aizawa could tell. He looked like he was on the verge of having a breakdown.
Bakugou, they're going to be okay. You need to be strong for them.
Katsuki only glanced at the poor hero before his eyes darted back to you.
I found the pulse,
shouted one of the paramedics to the other. Katsuki felt a huge weight lift off his chest as he breathed out a long sigh of relief. They had wheeled you out of the ambulance and into the hospital to begin treatment. The blonde would have followed you in there if it were not for Aizawa holding him back. After some time in the waiting room, a few other students from your class had come to check on you. One of those people was Dinky. Katsuki immediately stormed over to him and grabbed him by the collar and snarled into his face. Kaminari recalled his face in fear of Katsuki's wrath.
You good-for-nothing loser! What did you do to them?
I'm really sorry. I panicked and I didn't know what to do and...
Just shut up.
He raised his fist, ready to punch him, only to be stopped by Aizawa.
This is a hospital, you two. Sit down, or I'll send you back to the dorms.
Katsuki let go of Kaminari and plopped down into one of the seats next to Kirishima. He stared blankly in front of him and did not speak at all. When he heard the doctor call out your name, his head shot up to listen to what the doctor had to say. They will be fine, and we'll be sending them home today. Just make sure to keep an eye on them, and make sure they get some rest. The doctor explained to Isaiah. He turned around to face the students. I'm guessing I can leave that to you lot? Yes, sir, they all said in unison, and Katsuki made his way to the room you were staying in. He peeked in to see if it was your room and he didn't mix up the numbers or something. He saw you awake, and as soon as he noticed him, a large smile ground in your face. You were too cute, he couldn't handle it. He walked over to your bed and sat on the chair next to it and held your hand. He rubbed your knuckles while he struggled to get any words out, as all he could think about was your lifeless body, lying limp in his arms. His grip on your hand got tighter, and soon he engulfed your arm both of us, hugging it close to his body, and you could feel his body tremble around your arm. You brought your other arm to his back and wrapped soothing circles. You heard him sniffle, so you tilted your head downward to see his face. He had his eyes screwed shut and a pad on his lips, while tears were slowly making their way down to his chin. You gently wiped them away and reassured him that you're fine and doing well, but Katsuki still could not get that thought. The thought that you could have died. That you did die, even if it was for a moment. He couldn't get the thought of you never smiling again, or never calling his name again, or never giving him a kiss, or a hug, or cuddles, or never being able to hear your voice again. The more he thought about it, the harder he wept. He finally started to calm down when he heard you start to sing to him, while rubbing his head. Upon hearing your soothing voice, he knew that you were there and alive with him, and that you'd not be leaving him any time soon. You were discharged the same day. You were also greeted outside the hospital with a bunch of your classmates, asking if you're okay, and a Dinky apologizing profusely. You both got into bed that day, Katsuki laying his head on your shoulder and hugging you close, and with that, you both drifted off to sleep. At around 3 a.m., Katsuki was awakened by the present thoughts of you dying. Even though he was laying on your shoulder and holding you close, he still felt restless. He tried to fall back asleep but couldn't. He hit his head to move his head and place it on your chest, so he could hear your heartbeat. He then held your wrist that was laying next to your head and placed 2 fingers on your inner wrist to feel your pulse. The heartbeat under his ear and your pulse beating under his fingers was enough to lure him back into a peaceful slumber. He was going to protect you and always watch out for you. He knew that you didn't need his protection 24/7 and that you were strong and smart enough to hold your own. But he couldn't stomach the feeling of seeing you dead and not waking up again. That is something that would haunt him, but also push him to become a much better hero for you.
Thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I hope you enjoyed listening to this as much as I did making it. Anyway, goodbye.